Hi guys.
今天我们要去他的老家。
Ja,
What's that?
Legend.
That's not for Viking people.
Chili. My hometown. Come and visit my hometown, you guys. 走吧。
有一些视频讲的是北欧神话，就有很多这种图腾。
Välkommen. Yes.
这门口挂了好多个围巾头盔。
Cute. Just when we come in, there's a cute little Viking boat here.
老规矩，先放行李，卸下我们的防备。我们另外一侧都是挂大衣的。
What they eating back in the days, like berries and some fish and some meat. The most common drink is the beer. Even the babies drink the piso, but it's very weak. But they did this because they didn't know how to clean the water properly during this time. It is Stadfar Street.
Really, you can read?
Yeah, we learned this when we were younger. R, R, U is the upside down.
Oh.
S is almost like the S. Oh my god.
Viking girl drinking the milk tea.
Looks good, right?
Give me that. This one.
我的天哪 This is my Viking boyfriend.
这幅画展示的是维京的历史。
In short, the Viking period was born during 700s to the 1000s. During this time, there was a lot of war in Europe. The Viking period was like a way to take back power, to recover from military defeats. In the late Iron Age, the Viking period was at its biggest. In generally, in Europe, this period is considered the end of the early Middle Ages and the start of the Middle Ages. So during this time, the Vikings were mostly common, mostly occurring. During the Viking time, it was also very common for women to fight together with the men in battles. This picture shows a woman that her skeleton was found in a grave, but during this time, archaeologists thought that was the skeleton of a man that was fighting in battle. But later they did some DNA studies and they were found that this was in fact a woman inside the grave, showing you how the different people look like, how the wife looked, how the warrior looked, how the different people looked back then. It was also very common to have like slaves and things like that. This is one for your neck, and this is for the hand to keep your prisoners. Not good. It's often talked about how they're like stealing and kidnapping, and when they come home they will be served like wine by their wife and things like that. But apparently this is a very exaggeration of how the man wants to be treated, but actually that's not really what happened. Most Scandinavian men during this time were actually farming themselves and taking care of themselves. Both the men and the women had to work together in the farm to make the food and make the drinks, all of that. Imagine the Viking, and when you think back at it, it's like the men go to war and the women is in the house to provide. But actually, it was pretty equal during this time. Both could go to war and fight, and both would take care of the house. So that's good. Interesting.
This is your weapon.
The comb was really a symbol of status through the Viking times. A lot of people, they would carry that on their clothes to show they have some power and they have some class. It was used for, of course, fixing your hair, but to show you have this also means you can take good care of yourself and you can afford to have some items and things like that.
Oh,
Oh my god.
lucky.
Lucky. Amazing.
还有雷神索和奥丁。
That's so cute, the Viking house. Nature is really important for the Vikings. They would always pray for the forest, mountain, rivers, and they believed that everything had gods, spirits, and beings that could influence what happens to us depending if we're good or bad. So be good to nature and make some offerings. Sacrifice is really important for the Vikings. Otherwise, they believe some creatures maybe would cause them harm. And if they're good, nature will protect them. Some skeletons and bones, like animal bones. But a lot of this was from Uppsala actually, close to Stockholm.
Remember we talked about this one before. 这几张图在上次的北欧神话中都有提及过。这个地方展示的是维京人当时的饮食特色。
哇，看起来好吃。This right here is the pizza. Actually looks pretty tasty to me. This is what I eat. Some fruit, some knäckebröd, lots of butter. I would eat this right now. Somewhere in Sweden, there's a Viking village. You can go to sleep there. Pretend you're the Viking. We always did this in school when I'm younger, and we sleep in one of the old house. And this shows like almost exactly how they look like. This is a very typical house. And that was so scary, and the smelling was so bad. The smelling is so strong from the ground, from the roof, and from the fire. The fire is on all night, so the room is pretty smoky.
And we have found 90,000 silver coins in Sweden. We always find glass pearls and silk. And some of the silk can come all the way from China. We have found silk from the Tang dynasty in graves here, actually. So the Vikings didn't go all the way to Western China, but they went to Baghdad, Istanbul, Persia, the Silk Road, went there, and then they take it up here and could make really good money on it. They really love bling and strong colors and, you know, show off. This is the first coin that was made in Sweden. If you look closely, you can see that he has like a hunk hair almost. They could use the cross with their knife to make it into small quarters. Just break the money into small pieces. They could melt it down to make something new, like this for example. And the key is also a symbol of the housewife, the boss of the house. I'm in charge of the house. But this is actually a ear spoon. This one is in gold and silver, it's real, I made it myself. On one side you have the Fenris wolf, and you use it like this. Yeah, they like to look good. They probably smelled really bad. These Scandinavians, these Viking men mostly, they are taking all our women. It's meaning that these Christian, Anglo-Saxon, English women actually want to marry these Vikings because they smell a little bit better. They take a bath once a week and they comb their hair. If you're a good Christian Englishman at this time, it's very sinful to touch your naked body. You don't do that. They maybe take a bath once or twice a year. And then comes the Scandinavians that have a tradition of at least taking a bath every Saturday. Saturday in Swedish, still today, is lördag. And lördag comes from an old Viking word for washing yourself, which is the bathing day. The leader in the ship, he washes his face, washes his hair, and then he empties his nose, spits in the water, and then he gives the bowl to the next person. And then the next person, and the next person, and they all do this.
Interesting. Thank you.
这里有一副留言墙，你可以按照它的规则来书写自己的留言。It's so crowded here.
Bluetooth symbol. This is the Jelling runestone. You can find it in Denmark today. This is made by a Danish king named Harald Bluetooth. Many of the Viking kings really wanted to be remembered for future generations. He's lucky because these people that developed the Bluetooth technology, they were talking about this stone and they were thinking, this Viking king, he connected all of these tribes. Our technology is connecting things. Let's call it Bluetooth. But they also needed a symbol. They simply took the rune for H, like in Harald. There you have it. And the rune for B, like in Bluetooth. And if you put them on top of each other, making a binding rune, there it is. So it's like the mark, HB, Harald Bluetooth.
蓝牙的 logo 就这么来的。尝试一下这个 Viking boat。嘣！这部剧在奈飞有播出，大家如果对维京文化感兴趣的话，可以看一看。我不知道这下面是一个什么项目啊，但是这里是可以支持中文的。我们现在就上了一个贼船，10分钟的时间。我们要求了中文，所以看一下是什么样子。吓死了！吓死了！Bye, we're coming.